It feel like I'm late for work, but I don't have no 9 to 5.
What's going on? It's Seven Santana. It's been 50 days since I had the Steam Deck. Let's get into it. So to start this off, in the beginning, I'm going to go over the store, settings, storage, etc. Just like the Steam operating system. Then after that, we're going to go into desktop mode, check that out, see how it functions, and see if it functions like a real computer. Spoiler alert, it does. Number 3, I'm going to go over some add-ons, things I have added on to the deck to help me and make my experience a little bit better. And number 4, we're going to go over gameplay. I'm going to show you guys the performance of the system. And for number 5, we're going to go through my final thoughts. So what you're seeing right now is the what's new section. So if any of your games get any new patches or there's any messages from the developers, it will come through there. You will see it through there. So if you might have heard about a new patch or some new dropping or a new patch for the deck or anything like that, check what's new if you want to see what's going on. And the store for the Steam Deck is still like kind of web browser based. It could be a lot better, but it has improved in the short 50 days that I have had it. You do have a Steam Deck verified section where it just has completely games that are deemed Steam Deck verified. And I do want to let you guys know that Steam Deck verified means absolutely jack shit. I chose some games that I chose a Steam Deck verified game, which is Elden Ring. I chose one that was non-verified, which was Batman Arkham City. And I chose one that was it's like in between. It's going to be like a yellow indication. It's not completely Steam Deck verified, but they're not saying that it doesn't work either. So for that, I chose GTA 4. You will see that later on in the video. But you got all type of different categories, Mac OS, Windows. So when you go over to like the full store, you have access to the complete Steam store. You can buy games, does not matter if they are verified for the deck. And moving on to the system, you got system updates. You got the lock screen that was not there when it first came out. I do want to shout out Valve for giving so many updates since this thing has come out. Also, when you come here, you can move every one of your buttons, see what response times you're getting, see how far it's going. If you feel like you got any Joy-Con drift, anything like that, these are the places that you want to come check to, see if your suspicions are correct. I have myself personally thought I did have Joy-Con drift, but changing the dead zones allowed me to get it in a nice comfortable place, and it showed me that it was particular games that I was playing that would kind of make it seem like the Steam Deck had stick drift. Games like God of War. God of War is definitely one that I would like to mention, that the camera was just doing its own thing. I also do have a 1 terabyte micro SD card installed on the Steam Deck. So you see I have my SSDs filled up, and my SD card has about 300 gigabytes still free, but these are all the games that I do have installed on it, and they do load up pretty quick, as I must say. Alrighty. So at this point, I want to show you guys how to get to the desktop. So you can hit the power button or either click Steam, and the switch to desktop option will now become available to you. And voila, the Steam Deck is going to be running on Arch Linux, a modified version of Steam OS 3.0. So if I did have a PC that I just wanted to purely dedicate for gaming, I would most definitely put this operating system on it if I did not want to use Windows. And as you can see, it's completely fully functional. I did have to tap the D-pad at the beginning because sometimes when I do come to desktop mode, one thing I've noticed is that the Steam Deck doesn't automatically pick up on my inputs. Like the haptic touchpad, it feels almost stuck to a degree. I feel like just looking at it does not do it justice. You have to feel the haptic touchpad to kind of get a sense. There's no haptic feedback. It just really feels stuck. So you got to keep pressing it a couple times, and it'll let you through. And then you can control the mouse. I got Google Chrome on here. This is like a complete fucking computer. Like, I left my charger to my main laptop over my girlfriend's house one time, and I used my Steam Deck to actually do class. I just connected my mouse. Oh, my keyboard. My mouse is wireless, but it has a dongle, so it does not work until I get a USB-C dock. But I was able to connect my keyboard and use the touchpad as a mouse for the Steam Deck, and it was a great substitute for my computer. Another thing that I do want to mention for you guys is you can run your games from desktop mode. You don't have to run your games straight off the Steam, the regular Steam OS. You can come here and launch your games and also open up Steam from the desktop mode. There are going to be some things that you are going to want to come to the desktop mode to do, such as adding certain things to your Steam. That's going to be way easier to do using the desktop version of Steam versus using the regular version on the Steam Deck. And I do want to show you guys some of the things I have added on to the Steam Deck to make it a little bit more smoother and access my complete library. This is Heroic Games. What Heroic Games lets you do is use GOG and Epic Games. So as you can see, I have my entire Epic Games library that is showing you right now. Don't know why it's not showing GOG included, but I do have a few of them installed. Things like Control, Tomb Raider, BioShock Collection, things like that. And if you do want to access the stores, it will let you through the web browser version. Currently, I can't access my Epic Games right now because it logged me out for some reason. But when you do click on it, some games will show you the option that it does have cloud sync. So this makes it even more perfect. I can play on my deck and it'll just cloud stream straight back to my main PC, even though it's on Epic Games. It does not work flawlessly all the time, so I will say watch out with that. I also have emulators installed on the Steam Deck. I have not got around to setting it up and getting all the ROMs going, but I have like Nintendo Switch emulators, 3DS, the Wii, all type of things like that. Emulation on this thing is a must. And what I'm showing you guys now is called Boiler. What it essentially does is takes your games that you have installed via Heroic and it adds them to your Steam library with images. So it does everything on its own. It's like a complete automated process. I want to mention Boiler. Do cop this if you plan on playing any Epic, Heroic, Origin games, GOG, anything like that. So it automatically adds it to your Steam library and gives it a picture for you, so you don't have to waste your time doing all of that hassle. So now I want to break it down. Let's get into some gameplay. As you see, GTA 4 says that it is playable, but it is not verified. So let's see how it's running.
Start shopping for a new car.
And we're up. We're getting 40 frames per second locked in. I know this may seem crazy because GTA 4 is just known for having crappy performance on PC in general because the game is a bad port. But for some reason on the Steam Deck, I can get it locked at 40. All the graphics on here are maxed out. Anything that you can think of on here is maxed, except for view distance, of course, and water. Water is terrible on Grand Theft Auto 5, on Grand Theft Auto 4. So you really want to keep this on low when you do play. But other than that, I got everything turned up. Car density is at 80%, and my view distances are at 30. So that gets you a lock 40 FPS if you want to play GTA 4. This was definitely an amazing experience, if I do say so myself. One other thing that I did want to mention, you can change the refresh rate on the Steam Deck. They just added this officially during the last update. There also is a beta on the Steam Deck that allows you to get updates early and play around with them. I personally want to wait till Steam drops the update, so I didn't get access to this 40 FPS update till now, and it's perfect. It's literally perfect because even though it's not 60 frames per second, the 40 frames per second is more. If you can't get a game to consistently stay at 60, but you can most of the time get it to stay at 40. And 40 does feel way more fluid than 30 frames, even though it's just a simple 10 FPS jump. which is the crazy part about it. But I did end up switching the refresh rate over to 60, and as you can see, for the most part, it's locked in the 60. Might drop 2 to 3 frames every here and there, but slowly coming up, you would see why I would not recommend playing at 60. And this is also at 800p. Do not forget that you also have FSR on the Steam Deck. So if I really wanted to, I could drop the resolution all the way down to 500p and then use FSR to upscale it to back up to 800p. That definitely works for certain games. I choose not to really opt for FSR because it doesn't look too great in my opinion. But you know, I do see. I mean, if you coming, it depends on where you're coming from. I got a main desktop with a 3080 and a decent monitor and decent built-in monitor with the laptop. So going all the way from that to 500p kind of looks like a night and day difference. But if you let your eyes adjust, they will adjust. So as you see in here, the frame rate does kind of drop into the low 50s, high 40s. So as you kind of see, this is why I probably would not want to recommend it. Playing it at 60, but you can drop the settings and enable FSR, and I'm pretty sure that might get you a locked in 60 FPS like you might be looking for. All right, and at this point, I just kind of went in, dropped it back at 40 so that you guys can see that when I do bring the refresh rate down to 40 hertz, it does get me a locked in 60 in this exact same spot where it was kind of just shaky at. But yep, if you are planning on playing GTA 4, I want to say lock it in at 40, turn those settings up, and enjoy yourself. You could get it at 60 by probably making some compromises, but these are the compromises that I was willing to make. All right, and we're here for Batman. As you can see, it says it is unsupported. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, let you guys see how this unsupported game launches up and how long it really takes for an unsupported game to launch on Steam. I had to press the touchscreen because since it's unsupported, it's not really gonna have controller support. And some things you will have to figure out on your own. To really get this to run, I had to install GE Proton. A lot of you guys that do not know anything about Linux, you're gonna have to learn about Linux because the way that we are able to play these games is through wines and protons. So once you learn about those, these are pretty much like compatibility layers that allow the games to come from Windows to Linux and able to run. So I had to install a Pacific Proton in order for Batman to run, even though it says that the game is unsupported on the Steam Deck. A lot of games you can get a workaround for and enable them to run. So if you guys out there do have a Steam Deck and you can't get certain games to run, make sure you change your protons, install some different protons, hop on ProtonDB, and do some research to see if the game is just, it won't run at all, or you just need to change your Proton version. Batman, so far, I have been able to get it to run at 60 frames locked, and while I'm also outside of the asylum. So I would say for a game that is unsupported, it is running pretty good. It is running pretty good. Everything is maxed out. There was one option I had to turn off because it was saying that I needed an NVIDIA GPU, and it was causing the game to drop to like the low 14s. I do not know why. This game is old. I wouldn't expect that, but after turning that off, it did allow me to get a stable 60. Plan on playing through this. Never really got a chance to play through the Arkham games when I was younger, so definitely looking forward to this.
doing our evening rounds, and the next armed thugs burst into the room and took.
All right. And now it is time for the Steam Deck verified game, Elden Ring. I prefer to usually play this game at a lock 30. Anything other than that is not really too stable, and the game does not feel right at a fluctuating frame rate. So keeping it at a lock 30 is usually what does it the best for me. I even just tried it with my same exact settings that I'm using now, which is a mix of medium and high, to achieve 40 FPS, which did not work out too great in the least. So maybe if I mess around with it a little bit more, maybe turn on FSR, put everything on medium, and go from there, maybe I would be able to get it to run at a solid locked in 40. 60, I wouldn't say you can forget it. It might be possible with extreme compromise, but I wouldn't be too much bothered with trying to get this game to run at 60. I'm not so sure on how performance of this game has improved overall on PC, because I haven't really played it much on my main setup. All of my Elden Ring I've been playing as of late has been off of my Steam Deck. So it's pretty much like a dream come true. If you guys do check, I got a video on my channel where I was talking about Steam Deck launch day and Elden Ring launch day, because these guys pretty much launched the same week, and it's been great. Other than me playing at 30 FPS on the Steam Deck, it's been a flawless experience, and I feel like it's made the game way more better in my opinion. But I can say that for a lot of games with the Steam Deck, just based off the fact that I can take them with me on the go. The speakers is something I also want to mention. The speakers are great. I don't know how Valve did it, but these speakers really immerse you into whatever you're playing. Like you wouldn't expect it to really do that. And most of the time, I don't even have my Steam Deck all the way up, like the volume completely all the way up. I'm sure that when I recorded these clips that my Steam Deck volume was probably above halfway, but not nowhere near max. These things are loud and will immerse you into whatever experience or game that you are playing. So yeah, be ready for that. Okay, I just wanted to come through and give you guys some of my final thoughts on what I think about the Steam Deck after having it for 50 days. Do I think it's worth it? Yes, I most definitely think it's worth it, but only to a specific crowd of people. If you're someone who already plays on PC, has a massive PC library, or if you're someone looking to get into PC and join this ecosystem, join this world, discounted games, all the benefits of PC, the Steam Deck, you're definitely gonna love it. Only thing you're gonna have to get used to is Linux, and do research on protons and wines to get information on that. But if you're someone who loves PC and wants to become a PC gamer or join the PC ecosystem, the Steam Deck is definitely the choice for you. You can pick it up, play it anywhere, and I also almost forgot to mention that you can connect this to a monitor, which I did. I connected it to my ultra-wide monitor, and it was a great experience. So think about that as well. This is a PC you connect to your TV, your monitor, your anything. You can connect external controllers. I've played split screen with people in my car. Well, not people, but homies, friends, family in my car. We're smoking, we're doing whatever we're doing. It's possible. The Steam Deck just changes everything. It allows your games to be wherever you are. Like, me joining PC 2 years ago has almost been one of the biggest blessings I can even say. And the Steam Deck coming out, it just completes it. It just absolutely completes the whole nine, the whole everything. I would not say that the Steam Deck is a shipped out as a 100% complete device, but I never expected it to do that. You know, it's a PC. There's going to be updates. There's going to be things that need to be patched in and fixed. Valve has been making excellent work on the Steam Deck. They have been working fast, updating things, and the patches have been coming out hand over fist. And they've even included a fan curve to where my fans in the Steam Deck used to make a little bit of noise. I didn't have the fan whining problem that some people complained about, but now my fan is absolutely silent. If I could, it's crazy. It's absolutely silent now. They did this through a patch. So Valve, I like how they're operating with the Steam Deck. They're showing these other companies how it's done, how you should treat your customers, everything. But I will say, if you're someone who wants your games to just you want to just buy a game and it works automatically, the Steam Deck is, at this point in time, this early, I want to say it might not be the console for you, but you can always learn. You can always learn to change your graphics settings to increase performance, yada, 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 yada. If you want some plug and play, go get you the Switch, man. That's what you deserve. For all you people out there who just want to plug and play and you don't want to do a little teensy extra, the Nintendo Switch is out there for you. But for anybody else, I also have a PS Vita video on my channel where I modded that out and installed a bunch of games on it. Man, the Steam Deck is like a dream come true. If you guys have had a PS Vita, get one of these things now. Put your pre-orders in now. You feel me? You're gonna love this thing.